Cameras. And action.
I think you got the wrong chair. I'm a co-founder, not a producer.
How many of you were satisfied with your education? Most likely, many of you would not raise your hand for that. Because always when you're getting educated, there's something or the other you are missing. Very few are lucky enough to get to the best of the institution. Unfortunately, even while many graduates are coming out, they are not deemed employable by the organizations. And that's one of the big challenges that as a country we are facing, where we have enough number of graduates but not enough number of employable graduates.
Gone are the days where you can say that, look, I did my master's 30 years back and I have the required skills. Technology and things are changing so fast that you need to constantly upskill yourself to ensure that you're at the cutting edge and you can pursue exciting career opportunities. And a working professional does not have the luxury to say, I'll leave my job, I'll leave my family and go do a full-time course on campus.
The things that I really learned and I took away from media is the strong value for the consumer and the customer. Understanding trends, actually preempting trends even faster and quicker, because that's really what the key element is. But when you look at the broader spectrum, today, what's going to break out over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years is the element of lifelong learning, of skilling, of upskilling, of continuous learning, of continuous skilling, and being job ready. And I think that's how upGrad came about.
So I grew up in a place called Bongaigaon in Assam. Just growing up in a small town, usually the level of awareness that you have is not as much as perhaps what you would get when you are, let's say, growing up in a bigger city or a bigger town. So I used to sort of take up these distance programs from some of the coaching institutions that they will send books over to my house. I will study from that book and I will sort of put down my answer, do a call if required to get clarification, but it was all done from a very remote basis. So for me, that was one of the first time I understood the power of education being exported from one place to another place and what impact that can create.
And I think serendipity drew Mayank and me closer together. I met him as the first time around, and I do remember multiple conversations, right? I'm the impetuous guy. I'm the guy who wants to take a decision, move on, go with my instinct, go with my gut and go forward. Mayank is extremely thoughtful, extremely pensive, and has a very clear idea of what he wanted to do. And I think the fact that we wanted to be in higher education was really his origination idea. So here he had a framework, and here was I trying to be the entrepreneur in the room, trying to convert Mayank into saying, let's go for it.
So Mayank and I have a lot of things in common. The first one is that we went to IIT Delhi and then we were in the same hostel, but we didn't know each other then because he's 6 years senior to me. So by the time I had joined, he'd already graduated. So the first time I met Mayank was at Parthenon, where I was working as a consultant before upGrad. And Mayank happened to be on the first case that I was staffed on. I think we really enjoyed working with each other, and that was the beginning of the relationship with Mayank.
So I had worked with him very closely. So when the thought and idea of upGrad came into existence, I picked up the phone and called him up because he was one of the few people whom I knew had the capability and ability to rally a large team, a large group of people and bring people together. He had a knack of getting people together on common causes and sort of drive that over a period of time.
And one day he calls me very distraught and says that, look, I'm trying to invest in companies, but I'm not finding anything even meaningful. So there is a massive opportunity for us to do something in creating a large asset in the digital education space in India. And we had a conversation, and like most things, I assumed that this is something that's going to fade away and it's a brainwave that one of us had. But Mayank was very persistent with it, and we had very serious conversations over the next 3 to 4 months. And eventually the idea and the shape for upGrad started to form, and that's where I ditched the idea to go to business school, and we started upGrad back in March 2015.
मेरा नाम सनी पांडे है और बेसिकली मैं रायगढ़ छत्तीसगढ़ से बिलोंग करता हूँ। 2010 में मैंने मेरा ग्रेजुएशन पूरा किया और उसके 1 साल बाद ही मुझे मेरी जॉब मिल गई एक बीपीओ कंपनी में एज अ प्रोसेस एग्जीक्यूटिव, एंड सब कुछ बढ़िया चल रहा था। 2016 में मेरी शादी हुई दिसंबर में। उसी के 7 महीने बाद मेरे फादर एक्सपायर कर गए, जिसके कारण मदर का, वाइफ का, सबका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मुझ पे आ गया और करंट जॉब से ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मैं प्रॉपरली पूरी नहीं कर पा रहा था। देन मुझे फील होने लगा कि जो भी जॉब मैं कर रहा हूँ ये सफिशिएंट नहीं है, इधर आई शुड डू बिजनेस और आई शुड गो फॉर अ गुड जॉब।
कॉलेज के बाद आई वॉज वेरी मच लिटिगेशन करना है, क्रिमिनल लॉयर बनना है, बट माई मॉम वॉज अ लिटिल वरिड कि यू नो एज अ गर्ल क्रिमिनल लॉयर वुड बी द बेस्ट फिट और नॉट। एंड एनी वे, कमिंग फ्रॉम अ गुजराती फैमिली, मुझे पता था 2-3 साल बाद मैं बिजनेस ही करने वाली हूँ। सो आई डिड नॉट गो विद द लिटिगेशन। आई वेंट एंड डिड अ कॉर्पोरेट लॉ जॉब। जब मैं लॉ कॉलेज में थी, मेरे 4th ईयर में, माई फादर टोल्ड मी कि यू शुड गो टू UK फॉर LLM, एंड I still remember my mom gave me the brochure and I was asked to take a week's time and decide how I want to go ahead with it or not. But मेरे घर से कोई गया नहीं है पहले बाहर पढ़ने, and it was like a road not taken, so looked very risky to me. I quit. I dropped the plan and I was like, no, I will sit and I will do a regular 9-to-5 job.
upGrad, outside of being a lifelong mission for me personally, is really impacting people at scale. I think to touch people's lives at a very sensitive stage, because actually you're spending 1/3 of your life on your career in some form or the other. And I think for us to be that career partner for everyone, and second, the excitement of building something out of India for the world.
So one of the most amazing things for us to realize was that people said, as I mentioned earlier, that 1 year was too long. But there were a lot of people who wanted to do it. And the most interesting part was when people finished that 1 year program, they actually came back to us and said, we want to study more. At that point, we realized that, look, there are so many people who want to continue their online learning journey and graduate to higher advanced credentials. So we said, given it's not happening in India, let's look outside. So I personally went to Liverpool, camped there for 3 weeks, and our first international university partner was Liverpool John Moores, where we provided articulation courses where students could complete a PG diploma and then move to a master's in data science or management or whatever else.
मैंने बिज़नेस वापस शुरू किया, जॉब छोड़ दिया। बट ये सही डिसीजन नहीं था, बाद में मुझे पता चला। तो फिर मुझे ये भी लगा कि मैं एज हो जाने के बाद और गैप ज़्यादा बढ़ जाने के बाद मैं कहीं जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करूँगा तो मुझे प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगी। बट भगवान की तरह से मुझे जॉब तो मिली एज अ सीनियर बिजनेस एनालिस्ट इन एक्सेंचर, बट सैलरी सफिशिएंट नहीं थी।
You need to understand that education is a very large market, and the reason for the difference is that education fundamentally ends up becoming an extremely fragmented market. And that's the reason why, while we work with some of the leading global universities and bringing some of the programs online, we have a very, very strong suite of offering of our own boot camps, wherein you can hands-on work and execute the learning while practicing and while doing something of your own. We have a great study abroad program where instead of paying that $30,000, $40,000 for going abroad and studying there, you can do part of your programs online in India and then go abroad. It just allows you to bring the price point and the cost of living significantly down for you to be able to extract the best ROI from your investment on the program. We work very, very closely with corporates where we provide them with specific learning intervention and specific talent intervention to enable them and unlock a very large productivity ROI coming from their existing employees. Look, we need to do something at scale. We need to do something at high quality. We need to do something which will create impact at an individual's life or at a corporate life or at a B2B enterprise life, But unless we are focusing on impact and outcomes, things will never work out. And that's the genesis of upGrad, with outcome being the central theme of whatever that we are doing. So net, the design of upGrad is, can upGrad and will upGrad, and I'm sure upGrad will become the learning partner for you for the rest of your life.
मैंने मेरी हायर स्टडी वापस से शुरू करने की सोची क्योंकि मुझे MBA करना था और लगभग 10 साल हो गए थे ग्रेजुएशन करे। मेरे फादर इन लॉ से मेरी बात चल रही थी, उन्होंने मुझे एक इमिग्रेशन फर्म के बारे में बताया। तो जब मैं वहाँ गया, वहाँ पर जो काउंसलर से बात किया तो उनके मुंह से अपग्रेड का नाम निकला, बट उन्होंने इसी बीच मुझे कुछ अब्रॉड की यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के बारे में भी बताया। बट क्योंकि मुझे 2 ही महीने हुए थे नए जॉब को ज्वाइन किए और मुझे अगर अब्रॉड जाके जॉब करना था तो मुझे ये जॉब छोड़ना पड़ता। तो मैं ऑलरेडी एक लंबा गैप हो चुका था, मैं जॉब नहीं छोड़ना चाहता था। तो मुझे लगा कि अपग्रेड एक अच्छा ऑप्शन रहेगा। तो मैंने एक इंक्वायरी फॉर्म भरे अपग्रेड में और मुझे एक काउंसलर का फ़ोन आया और मुझे काफ़ी सारे डाउट्स थे क्योंकि एक ऑनलाइन मोड का प्रोग्राम था। तो उन्होंने मेरे लगभग सारे डाउट्स को क्लियर किया और सबसे बड़ी बात ये थी कि अब्रॉड के कंपैरिजन में ये 10% कॉस्ट में ये इंडिया में ही मैं वही सेम डिग्री को पूरी कर ले रहा था। एंड मेरा जब 1 ईयर कंप्लीट हुआ और मुझे एक बहुत बड़ा ब्रेक मिला थ्रू अपग्रेड, आई लैंडेड अप टू माय न्यू जॉब एज अ एसोसिएट बिजनेस मैनेजर इन HCL। इतने सारे हसल्स के बाद पहली बार मेरे लाइफ में एक स्टेबिलिटी आई क्योंकि जॉब के अलावा आपका पैकेज और आपका पोजीशन भी मैटर करता है। तो मेंटल प्लस फाइनेंशियल दोनों सेटिस्फैक्शन मुझे मिले।
जैसे इंडियन सोसाइटी आई टर्न 24-25, सारे लोग घर में स्टार्ट होने लग गए, रिलेटिव्स एंड ऑल, कि बच्ची बड़ी हो गई है, अभी कोई अच्छा लड़का ढूंढ लेते हैं। तो मेरे को लगा दिस इज़ द टाइम to pursue higher studies, and I came across upGrad तभी because मैं randomly Google पे check कर रही थी which are the best countries to study in 2022, and I got a pop-up from upGrad asking if I want a free educational counseling session, and that's how my journey started.
Many companies in the education EdTech ecosystem are focusing on providing that right skilling and the bridging program to be able to get employable. Gone are the days when one and done of education used to be the case, that you do one education and you're done for the life. The moment you enter into a bachelor's program, you do not even know 4 years later what kind of skills will be required. So even after your graduation, as you're working, my strong push to everybody is to constantly invest in yourself, because the more we do so, we will not only enhance our own efficiency and own positioning in the job market or in the career market, but we will also ensure that India has the highest productive workforce in the world, which will enable our journey to the 5 trillion economy in a much more seamless manner.
To me, one of the disruption was India is a country of 1.4 billion. How do we solve that problem at scale? Scale is not necessarily about building large companies, it's about solving problems at scale. And therefore, to me, the online learning is a much more eliminative process. And I think that was my connect of what I wanted to do. How do we create an impact at scale to different people at different and continuous stages in their life?
Every year, close to 7.5 lakh students are going abroad to study. But if you look at the number of applications or the number of students who really want to go, that is 5 times more. Now, these other students who are not able to go abroad majorly don't go because they are not able to get the full budget to study abroad, and their dreams die. Through this initiative, we have reduced for the cost of studying abroad by 30 to 40%, and in some cases, it is more than 50% savings, which a student gets through us. Our vision is to help them not only go and study abroad, but also help them in finding good job and build their career abroad.
Actually, एक free counseling session था. So I remember Gaurav had a word with me and he explained things to me, and the next day he did the whole process with my parents, and within 15 days I enrolled, and February 2nd को मेरा college से contract आ गया. It was very speedy. After the free counseling session, I was given the option to choose with the hybrid model, कि मुझे एक इनटेक इंडिया में करना है, 2 इनटेक करना है कि 3, एंड यू गेट दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी विच आई थिंक इज़ वेरी गुड बिकॉज आपको फिर आई गॉट लाइक 6 months, I did 6 months in India and 1.5 year is on campus. So that 6 months was a good time for me to process that I am flying out, कि पढ़ाई कैसी हो रही है, पढ़ाई का मैटर क्या है, and when you go there you are not so overwhelmed. It's one less thing to worry about.
Not only that, they also get the career support which upGrad offers to students when they reach in those countries. So we help them in finding the part-time jobs, full-time jobs. We also help them in various other things because there is a camaraderie in our students who reach those countries. They help each other in finding accommodation, in helping them settling down in the new country. That's a big help for any student going abroad.
It was not just Indian learners, but we got a large percentage of our learners from outside India, from Africa, from Middle East, from Southeast Asia, and even from the United States, without any effort from upGrad. These were people who organically heard of us, were interested in the program, liked the proposition and joined the program. Because people globally need much better access to high quality and affordable education.